Okay, this is part two of our interview with Ed Richardson in Medellin, Colombia, to give more of a heads up on medical care and other things too in Medellin, Colombia, and in Colombia in general. Follow along.
So these hospitals are amazing. I was
Yeah.
in there for 2 hours and I was out.
Yeah, a lot of people need to realize that, just because you live in America and you think it's a first world country, that the medical care is best in the United States, it is not.
Right.
It is definitely not. Same thing with safety and so on. So first, so before you get there, you need to have some type of traveler's insurance that includes healthcare before you get there. When you get there, you go through the process to get your cedula. That's going to take you go through the process to get your visa, which in the case, the easiest way, again, and the quickest way probably is to get a student visa. You pay the money, it's going to cost you about $1,500, but that's for the entire year, and that includes the classes. So once you get that, then you can go ahead and apply for your cedula, which takes about 3 weeks. Once you get your cedula, you can go through the process of meeting and speaking to somebody to set up a time for a medical, get a medical appointment, I guess 3 weeks later, where that person takes you in, steps you through the process, speaks the language for you, unless you speak Spanish also. And then you have your healthcare takes effect immediately at that point in time. And the two healthcare, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm finished.
Well, I was going to say that the two healthcare providers are either Sanitas or Sura, right?
Right.
Is there a difference between the two?
When I first came here, I had friends who were with Sutter, but when I was getting ready to go to the process, the lady that was working with me told me that Sanitas was better. But there are other carriers here too, So I have friends that have other carriers that are Colombians who have other insurances, and it's different. So you can pick either one you want.
But those are like the biggest two?
I just went to the Sanitas because the lady that was working for me had Sutter, but the problem was she said that Sanitas was faster to process you if you got sick or you wanted doctor's appointments or whatever.
Okay. So it doesn't matter what carrier you have, there's basically two fees. Well, everybody pays the basic, which is about $30 US per month.
Right. Yeah, I pay about $32 US per month.
Okay, but then there's a level up where you can get the max, whether the doctor shows up at your house and sets up a dental chair in your apartment and so on.
Right. If
that
you
one
say
costs
you're
how
in your
much?
apartment and you're sick, a doctor will come here. I mean, Carlton will tell you about that experience. They came to his apartment a couple times, and they just brought the table out, laid him out, did all the checks, everything. It's amazing.
And that's about $160 per month, but that includes the $30, the basic.
Right. But Carlton, when he got here at 59, he signed up for that. Because if you were in America, it's going to cost you $700 a month. But he signed up for that, so he got top service. But once he turned 62, the policy went up on it. I think it went to $2 something per month.
Yeah, so I think he said like $225.
$225. So rather than pay that, he decided to just get Sutter because he's pretty healthy. He's pretty healthy.
Yeah, but it's insurance for a reason. I'm relatively healthy, but still, I would pay the $225 to make sure. I'd like a doctor come to my house. Him and Rappy.
Exactly right. But Carlton, once you're here, you get used to pesos. So he likes to travel, so he wanted to save the money and just have insurance.
Yeah,
$35 a month.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. If I could see what I was getting for the 32 or whatever dollars per month then, and I saw the difference wasn't, that's going to be a major difference. A doctor showing up at your house, you're not going to beat that. Right. To me, that's worth $225. I would pay that.
Right.
I'm not 62 yet,
Yeah. Like I was talking to a veteran here. He's on Social Security. He doesn't have Medicare or Medicaid. So he has his vets. He has vets insurance. So they're getting ready to set up a veterans hospital here in Medellin.
For U.S.?
But he has, U.S. They moved from Panama to Medellin. So he knows that he's covered here because he doesn't have Medicaid, Medicare. But if he needs some real help, he can just fly from Medellin to Miami, and they have a veterans hospital right there. So you're talking about a 3.5-hour flight. So you cover it both ways.
So there's even more reason to be there if you're a veteran too. I mean, veterans are just used to hopping up and getting it going.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. If I were a veteran, I wouldn't stay in the United States. Mm-hmm. I would leave,
Yeah. Oh.
And well, you're still 3.5 hours away from your family.
Yeah.
You got to get to Fort Lauderdale, Miami.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you mentioned earlier the credit card part. You told me that if you do not have insurance and you have to go to the hospital for an emergency, they're not going to release you until you pay that amount. So tell me the story about two guys went in for heart attacks. One had insurance, one did not.
Yeah, I experienced this because I try to talk to everybody. I kind of knows. I get in people's business if they let me. But anyway, two guys. One guy had a heart attack. This guy was pretty good shape. These guys here, you're in pretty good shape because you walk everywhere. So if you don't want to walk, you take a cheap taxi. The one guy, pretty good shape, about 5'9", a little better, but he's healthy because where he lives, he got an apartment where he had to walk up 5 floors every day to get to this apartment, back and forth. So he had a heart attack, and he went to the hospital, and his bill was $5,000. And his girlfriend called one of my friends and said, look, Tommy had a heart attack. He can't get out of the hospital until he pays the bill. My friend went over there with his credit card and paid the bill, okay? And I'll come back to him later. The second guy had a heart attack. He had the sewer. He went in the hospital. He had a heart attack. He was in great shape. No fat on this guy at all. He came in my apartment, he installed my internet, my TV, and he had no health issue. He was in great shape, maybe 50-some years old. He had a heart attack. He came out of the hospital. He had sewer. His bill was $30. So why not get it? So going back to Tommy, Tommy went back to the U.S., did his health care with the vets, came back and paid my man the $5,000 plus back. So those are two examples.
Okay, yeah, I told my mom the story last night when I talked to her, and she said, wait a minute, they wouldn't let him leave the hospital? So how did they hold you in the hospital? Hold you prisoner?
Well,
they locked you in your room?
I don't know if they held him, but they just told him, you can't leave until you pay the bill. Mm-hmm. And he didn't have the credit card, so he had to call my friend who had the credit card. So my friend and I, we have these Chase Visa cards. And so I use it because I gather points, from my United miles. So we use the cards to go out to restaurants. We do everything with those cards, buy plane tickets, do everything.
Gotcha. So go with a credit card with some room on it, at least $5,000.
Right, you get a credit card with some room on it.
Yeah, exactly. So how's it going right now as far as living in Medellin since the lockdown? I know it's loosening up now, and we're looking at September 1st for international flights again. How real is that? What's your thoughts on it?
Well, to give you an example, it's real because when we were locked down from March 18th. That's when we started, and everybody locked down. Everybody followed the rules during the whole lockdown period from March 18th to the end of May. The total occupancy in the hospital was less than 3%. So we didn't have anything going on. And then things let up after about 8 weeks. So even during that period, we were allowed to go out once a week to grocery store, shop, come back home. Okay, and they checked our schedule. Now we are in the process where we can go out, everybody's wearing masks. We go to El Centro is back to normal where you visited, but you just can't sit down and eat. Everybody's out shopping, the vendors are out, the people are out. But normally at night, about 7, 8 o'clock, people just go in. Whereas normally people are partying up to 3 or 4 o'clock every morning, every night. but not this time. But so the bars are closed, the restaurants are closed, but you can order. You can order. Order in.
Rappy.
I would say that Rapid. I would say
Yeah.
that Rob's restaurant, he has not suffered financially.
Really?
He's been taken out all the time. People love his American food.
I know. I've seen some of the pictures. I'm like, man, we don't even have that here.
Right.
Right.
So everything's back to normal. And if you go to a restaurant, you just sit out outside somewhere on a pillow or something, and you eat, drink, or whatever you want. I go to coffee shops every day but we just wear a mask when we're not eating or drinking. Other than that.
When you say back to normal, you mean there's no more restrictions, there's no more pico blanco, you can just go out when you want, or is it still is it limited?
Basically, you can go out when you want, but if you want to go in a grocery store, place like that, or a mall that's open, you got pico plata. They're going to check you. You got to wash your hands. They're going to spray your feet. When you go in every store in the mall, they're going to check your cellular. They're going to make you wash your hands, and they spray your feet. Every store. They're really cautious.
Okay, yeah, and for those who don't know what pico y placa, I think it is
placa. I think placa is for the car.
Yeah.
Pico is for the stores. PICO.
Yeah, well, they do the same in like Mexico City. I know they did it. They do it in a few countries in Latin and South America, where they limit the amount of cars that are allowed to be on the road because of pollution. So you can only go out on Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays if your tag number ends in a 2 or a 4 or a 6. And so they're doing the same method for the pico y placa for the cedula. So that's why you have to have your cedula, because they're looking at your numbers. Could you, if you didn't have one and you were just there for a short time and you got stuck there, could you use your passport?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the guys here now that's been stuck since March 18th, they are way past their 90 days, but it's not even counted until this curfew is over. So I know guys have been here 90 days past the original 90 days, and then they're going to be covered up until September the 1st. But I have talked to them about, I talked to a few of them, and they're in the process of applying for their cedula now while you're here, because if you were outside the country, you could apply for your cedula. But now, because of this virus, you got to be inside the country to apply for.
Well, how about your visa? You have to have a visa before you can get your cedula, right?
No, the visa and the cedula are the same thing. It's just the visa is stamped in the passport. And then once the visa is stamped, you walk over next door to immigration, and that's when you apply for the cedula, which is the fingerprints and the photo. You
can do that at the airport?
No, you when I say next door, I mean the agency where you go to apply for the visa and the cedula is right there. So he's filling out the paperwork. So once your paperwork comes back from Bogota, that's when your visa is stamped. Okay, in your passport. And once your visa is stamped in your passport, you just go next door to the immigration, and they take your photo and they take your fingerprints. And 2 weeks later, you get your cedula.
Okay, cool. So you're almost back to normal. Is that a hard number, a hard date, that September 1st? You think that's for sure?
I think it's pretty much for sure, because I think the restaurant's going to open up next month. Plus, we're going to be allowed to go to other cities in Colombia, to the beaches and stuff, next month. Fly over there to Santa Marta, San Andreas, or wherever.
Okay, so what I've been reading is the rest of the country has high numbers. Some are in poor areas, like Bogota is high. All the other cities are high, major cities are high, except for Medellin, because of that Medellin Me Cuida program that the mayor came up with, where there's a way to track and find out where you were and who was with them. So they kept the numbers to, I think, there's hundreds, just a few hundred. And I don't know how many people in Medellin? There's millions, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so they kept it down to a small amount in Medellin, but the rest of the country not so much. So they're going to open up for intra-country travel, so you can just go pick up and go to Bogota or Barranquilla, or
I think when the cities that have high numbers, they might not open those airports yet. But like Santa Marta, San Andreas, you're going to be able to go, because
okay.
I went to San Andreas last August, and I had a wonderful time. And what I liked about San Andreas is that you got all these South Americans from Lima, Brazil. It seemed like all the South American people just congregate in the summer on the beaches. It was wonderful. I was there for a 4-day trip.
Yeah, I gotta get out there. I stayed in Medellin the whole time. I just love the weather that much. It was that good.
Yeah, I mean, I've only been able to go once, and I could go out every week if I want to, but I'm just hooked on Medellin right now.
I know. I'm
but
same
it's just
thing.
so much to do.
It's not
So
broken.
much to do.
It's not broken.
Right,
Leave
not
it alone.
broken.
Yeah, you mentioned one
Leave it
thing
alone.
before I let you go. You mentioned one thing earlier, and not a lot of people get to this status that you flew United. And if I recall correctly, you were a million miler, right? Or still a million miler.
Yeah, okay. I'm a million miler. So one day I realized I had about 800,000 miles. And they said, so what I would do is I would just get on the plane and go to Taipei. Get on the plane and go 3 or 4 days, get miles, come back. Then I would get on the plane and go to Hong Kong, 3 or 4 days and come back. Then I get on the plane and go to Thailand, stay 8 or 9 days and come back. And so once I knew it, I had a million miles. So when you get to be a million miles, man, you get privileged. It's sort of like you sit on a plane and they pull you up and say, "Mr. Richardson, you can go upstairs." And I'm riding upstairs and with all these other guys. There's be 10 people up there, and we got carte blanche for everything. So when I get on a plane, I get the best seats. I get best service because I'm a million miles. So the way I did it, I learned from other people. Just get on a plane and go somewhere.
Well, you got to be able to afford those flights to fly somewhere. You got to be able to have the money to fly those places too.
Yeah, you got the money, but I was working for companies, so they just sent me, and I just went, and I got the miles and came back. But even if you're going from Houston to Guatemala, just go. You come back, get the miles, fill them up, and come back. But
it's the loyalty.
Miles, so I got miles that I can't even. I just don't want to use, but I'm stuck in Medellin right now. But I'm going to fly back to Thailand, go to Vietnam.
That's what I was going to ask you. When you go to Thailand, I want to go. I'm going to Vietnam again.
Yeah.
I went last year, right?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, let me know when you're going to go back to Thailand. I want to go with you, and then I want to skip over to Vietnam while I'm there, and the Philippines.
Right, because you're 1 hour flight from Bangkok to Thailand. To Vietnam.
Yep, I'm ready to go.
Right.
Well, hey, I appreciate it, Ed. Anything else that you think I missed that you want to add?
Well, I want to have other conversations with you on other subjects like dating women. I was thinking one yesterday. Dating women in Colombia is different than dating women in the United States. They're two different worlds. Culture, the environment, tourism here, opening up a business here. There's a lot of topics. I'm thinking of a lot of things that we could discuss.
Well, you'll be my man in Medellin then. So now I know I have a correspondent there who's got the answers.
I'm your official correspondent now in Medellin.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. Hey, much appreciated too. I apologize for the mishap yesterday. I made a recording yesterday and missed it. Did not record.
Well, okay, I hope you got divorced today, because I'm here just learning, and because I want to be of help to people who are coming here. And I really encourage people to start coming here now.
Well, there's a lot of people. I get a lot of responses when I do videos for Guatemala, probably more Guatemala now because I put more time into it, but Medellin as well. And they always have questions. It's always a popular video if it's about Medellin, because a lot of people want to come and they want to learn the ins and the outs. So this is good for them. This one's good with
Right.
the medical. Dating is a good one too. This is one thing we talked about yesterday we didn't say. So before we go, let's touch on this. When you, and I had to be educated myself, when you leave the United States and you go to another country, leave that American attitude behind, right?
Right. Please, yeah. I'll say that right quick. When you come to Medellin, when you go through your visa process, when you go to your health process, when you go to open up bank accounts, when you go to find apartments, leave that attitude there. Don't come here with that attitude. Learn patience, because just being patient is going to get you a lot of way. And just being who you are, you're going to see the difference in how you're treated. So just don't bring that attitude here. You know, you don't really need to.
Yeah, people are extremely friendly there too, and they'll go out of their way to help you. I've had people walk up the block to show me and make sure I got to the right store or something. Just be polite. Don't have that attitude or righteousness that, you know, that aggressiveness that a lot of Americans do. Leave that behind, because you're representing the entire country when you do come.
Exactly. And the last thing is that when I came here, I didn't know Spanish, and I lived 2 exits from Tijuana in San Diego. But put your phone in your bed, go to YouTube, and just learn some words. And by laying in bed at night or resting on your couch, those words just come to your head, and it helps you when you're here. And there's an app called Mondly, Mondly. Mondly. Go to that app, sign up. It costs you 130,000 pesos, equivalent to whatever that is in US dollars, which is $20. And you can learn some Spanish every day. I have really improved my Spanish. Plus working with my teacher.
Yeah, it helps to be able to use it there too. But I use something called Duolingo, and a lot of people will know what that is. Duolingo. I actually have my mom using it now.
Right, good.
Picking up a few words helps, but it's nothing like being there, boots on the ground, being able to communicate, or getting stuck talking to somebody. You know, before you, if you think you're going to move there and all of a sudden start talking to girls right off the bat, let me tell you something. Most of the people there do not speak English. When I say do not speak English, they don't speak.
They do not speak
English. So
English.
Some do, you know, but
they're gonna talk to you anyway, whether you like it or not, in Spanish. And you gotta just pick it up.
Figure it out.
So, bring your mom here. Your mom will love it. Your mom will love to shopping. Jesus, man, these malls here are unbelievable. Can't touch them in the United States. They can't touch the United States.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh, I know. You know, I live right next to Santa Fe, so I spend a lot of time at Santa Fe Mall. Yeah.
Beautiful malls, food, restaurants, healthcare, the food. It's just healthy. But anyway, I'm not gonna hold you up, but we can have another session if you forgot anything that you want to call me back and talk about. Okay,
so give me the only thing I'm going to need after this are the numbers and contact information. If you want me to give out your contact information, because I will get questions. That's a fact.
Okay, you can give my contact information out anytime. My email, my telephone number, my WhatsApp information. It's better to call me on WhatsApp.
Okay, much appreciated, Ed.
You got my email. And
we're going to do numerous other videos, I promise you, because I have a few ideas too, and it helps to have somebody there who's knowledgeable.
Yeah,
so
no problem.
I'll pick your brain again.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, hey, well, I appreciate it, Ed. Thanks again. Thanks for everybody who's watching. You'll see Ed again, so we'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, hasta luego.
Hey, see, hasta luego. Okay, okay, peace.
Bye-bye.
Okay, guys, thanks for watching. There's going to be much more information. Ed has volunteered his time to give us more information about Medellin and moving to Medellin, so we're going to talk about a few things. Dating online, what it's like living there, just basic information on what it's going to take to get there and what it's going to take to stay there for any period of time. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. Right down there. Subscribe. Appreciate you all.
We have a YouTube channel. Like it. Please subscribe and kick the bell.